Right, it is 10:43 a.m. and what you're paying attention to, not only is this not visible while I am standing in front of building 1810 and the Los Angeles Police Department is group stalking in helicopter, Lorraine Pena is group stalking by crossing path on my right side, Thomas Waddick is crossing path in the parking lot on my left side, and the entity is group stalking via the male that is accessing his blue SUV that's parked in the fire lane, and he is a demon that is repeatedly crossing path, which is patrolling. While that light source is over me, I'm in front of building 1810. The entity is maintaining the light source over building 1810, which is under no circumstances going to be visible from my living room window. This is the movement in real time of the light source, which is not even the sun. Because in addition to what is real time movement of this light source, which I would not be able to see if that was the sun, that, by the way, remains present over building 1810 while I'm in my office, remains over me as I go back to my apartment over building 1806. Look at the map. The direction that my window is facing is an entirely opposite direction, not shared sky space. So building 1810 is in this direct. Can you see my finger? Is in this direction. I can't see the light source if that was the sun. In the same way, yesterday, as I took a picture of this light source over the front of my building and then I walked out the back of my building, this is not visible from the back of the apartment. The entity, this is demonic. This is called stalking with light, and that's what the entity is doing while they're using their vehicles and moving, driving around in this engineered light. And all of this engineered light, this isn't sunlight. This is the light that's appearing on the ceiling. This is the light that creates multiple shadows. This is the light that's appearing all over the walls at nightfall. It's engineered light. And this is the light source. In addition to what is not going to be capable of being seen through my living room window that's facing the hillside where the sun was rising this morning hours earlier, i.e. not the sun. The entity is moving this light source from the front of building 1810 where you saw LAPD and the people of the state engaging in demonic behavior, which you are learning what it looks like and how it operates in the environment that it's occurring in, which is the P.O.C. That's ongoing terrorism by demons who are monitoring you and stalking you together. That's the P.O.C. It is also occurring while at 10:44 a.m. I am reminding you regarding the placement of the light source directly over my head while I am again on third-party group stalker. And the reason why I use it in those terms is because literally public transportation is a venue. And so I'm identifying Omnitrans, a third-party group stalker, as a venue, because while I'm on that bus that's in motion, the sun is not going to remain stationary, visible over building 1810 or over the hillside at Alvarado Gardens or visible through my living room window, creating any sunlight. This is engineered light though. No light source. This is the pattern of conduct as I'm reminding you about what's going on at 10:44 a.m. as I am going to provide that video. The reason why you're looking at that is because Lorraine Pena, Thomas Waddick, Tina Reed, they're going to federal prison. And their criminal engagement in the pattern of conduct on behalf of a corrupt public entity that is engaging in a demonic ritualistic targeting system, which is, in other words, demonic activity that's practiced by a government that's keeping you under surveillance, that's monitoring you. This is the criminalization of that satanic conduct practiced by the government. And that's why you have what are demons that are stalking in planes and helicopters, and you're looking at the specific environment that is in no way the natural environment as at the same time at 10:44 a.m. While I am in Upland, California on Route 83. Again, I'm showing you again the impossible, the blatant presence of the environment. While not only is it over me, but it remains over me street for street and turn for turn, even in public transportation. While it's stationary here, it is necessarily in movement in real time to remain hovering over me while I'm on the bus, which is on Euclid Avenue traveling north. And in the morning, you're going to remember what I just published yesterday about being on that third-party facilitating venue of Omnitrans in the afternoon. That's the same street where I got on Route 83. And later in the day, it's moving in a direction north, keeping in alignment with me much later in the day. That's the maintenance of the specific environment. All right, and this is the specific environment where Lorena Pena and Thomas Waddick and Gabriel Carbajal, Arriaga Carbajal of 1816 number 4, all of whom are engaging in what is a show, an unlawful show, and a very costly show of impunity while they are engaging in criminal monitoring, demonic behavior, which is terrorism, and a show of impunity and malice while they live at a crime scene and systematically monitoring and posing an impermissible threat. All right, those are magic words there. That's grounds of federal prison. They're all going to federal prison, not only because I captured video of the LAPD while they're stalking in the path creating activity, and posing a threat to your life and physical safety and well-being in concert with that corrupt law enforcement agency, which is the pattern of conduct, but because they're posing an impermissible threat as an entity, and they are monitoring ongoing documentation. And the demon-possessed, these are psychopaths who are violent sex offenders who are determined to continue to monitor you while your panties are down, who continue and show an outward demonstration of determination, unlawful determination, while they are documented, which is while you are enforcing your rights. In other words, this is a very scary stalker that is the government that is determined to threaten you continuously, even as you enforce your rights. And that's the affect of documentation. The entity has been posing an impermissible threat for years. And while the entity is in Los Angeles, literally being choked to death with documentation, a body of evidence that it will be literally silent in federal court, because there is no legal argument. There is no scientific explanation for why the sun is over me on Route 83 going northbound at the same time. And also it's over my window in the living room while I'm in Alvarado Gardens, outside of my living room window, in building 1806 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 6 at the same time. You're also understanding what is the maintenance of an entirely scientifically impossible environment. This is speaking to, again, 1044. I was just giving you an example. That while I'm on the bus at 10:44 a.m., remember what the Ontario police were doing on April 29th. Excuse me, that wasn't April 29th. On April of 2022, before daylight savings time began, February 4th, 2022, while the entities engaged in criminal summoning. So this is a reference to what's occurring at 10:44, all right? I'm in Ontario. The entity is keeping the light source over the Ovid Family Community Library. That's not occurring while it's in motion over me on Route 83. But then on Route 83, later in the afternoon, it's still remaining directly over me as I'm going in the same direction north on that street in Upland, California. While the entity is here engaging in what is rising this light source in the morning and setting it through that window in my bedroom in the evening, aiming what is engineered light through closed blinds on my bedroom wall. All right, closed blinds, magnifying these small little holes and creating the shadow of these leaves through the magnification of the light that appears on my bedroom wall. That's not the sun, and that's also not the sun in Ontario. This, while the demon-possessed Thomas Waddick is going to federal prison. All right, Tina Reed's going to federal prison. Lorena Pena, a 79-year-old woman, she's going to federal prison. All right, the third party affiliated with Daniel Levitt and Maurice France Salon of 1808 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 5. He's patrolling in relevant position, monitoring, creating activity in concert with the LAPD. He's affiliated with that blue SUV. He's going to federal prison. I don't need to know his name. He got his license plate, captured his image. The federal government will find him, and he's going to be prosecuted. The entity is engaging in waging that threat, and this is the blatant, plain evidence of it, and it's also understanding why. So while the entity is posing an impermissible threat to your face and then stalking with the corrupt law enforcement agencies, that's an unlawful threat to your life, and you see the threats that they are stalking and terrorizing with impossible light activity. All right, showing that they are engaged in terrorism, communicating a threat, a show of aggression by a psychopath that's targeting you and monitoring you through the creation of that impossible light activity, which under no circumstances is occurring. And it's also not going to occur while the sun, that is the light source, is over me on Route 83 at the same exact time, while I'm in Upland, California, in front of 450 North Euclid Avenue, where, by the way, the documentation already showing that it's present from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. my exit of that venue. At no point, again, under all circumstances, never is the sun going to be captured at any location here, but this is not the sun that's here from beginning to the end of the day. And that's also stalking conduct by LAPD and the people of the state, and they're all going to federal prison. All right, like I said in the video, and like that is the case, and that's also what justice requires. These are adamant and animals. These are literally animals that are pursuing and stalking relentlessly and to their own demise. What type of psychopath is surrounded by the evidence of them stalking and continues to do so? And that's exactly what the federal court is going to recognize. Okay, it is again 10:52 a.m. This is P.O.C. This is in reference to documentation captured in April of 2022, and it's at 10:44 a.m. and I'm on Route 83. Omnitrans is a third-party group stalker utilizing the roads and the highways, group stalking systematically with the people of the state, while a light source remains over my head traveling north on Euclid Avenue, and the bus stops in front of Euclid the Upland Public Library at 450 North Euclid Avenue. You cannot see the sun from that location here outside of my living room window. This is the same location where the sun was rising this morning. This is absolutely impossible. This is P.O.C. And this is the same sky space where LAPD was crossing path in the distance. That is indeed the pattern of conduct, P.O.C.